Hello, it is the 22nd day of September, reading through Matthew. So let's get into it. And Jesus answered and spake unto them, saying by parables, said, The kingdom of God is likened unto a certain king, which made a marriage supper for his son, and sent forth servants to call, making sure, them that were bidden to the wedding, and he sent forth servants to call them that were bidden to the wedding, and they would not come. Again he sent forth other servants, saying, Tell them which are bidden, Behold, I have prepared my dinner, my ox, my fatlings are killed, and all things are ready. Come unto the marriage. But they made light of it, and went their ways, one to his farm, another to his merchandise. And the remnant took his servants, and entreated them spitefully, and slew them. But when the king heard thereof, he was wroth, and sent forth his armies, and destroyed those murderers, and burned up their city. Then he said to the servants, The wedding is ready, but they which were bidden were not worthy. Go you therefore in the highways, and as many as shall find, bid to the marriage. So the servants went out into the highways, and gathered all that many they found, both bad and good. And the wedding was furnished with guests. And when the king came in to see the guests, he saw there a man which had not a wedding garment. And he said to him, Friend, how come you came in hither not having a wedding garment? And he was speechless. And then he said to the king's servants, Bind him hand and foot, and take him away, and cast him in outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. For many are called, but few are chosen. Then with the Pharisees took counsel how they might entangle him in his talk. And they sent out their disciples with the Herodians, which is an odd combination, saying, Master, we know that thou art true, and teachest the way of God in truth. Neither thou carest for any man, for thou regardest not the person of men. Tell us therefore, what think you? Is it lawful to give tribute unto Caesar or not? See, they're trying to butter him up and tangle him in words and everything like that. But Jesus perceived their wickedness and said, Why tempt ye me, you hypocrites? Show me the tribute money. And they brought him a penny. And he said to them, Whose image and superscription? They said, Caesar's. Then he said to them, Render unto Caesar the things which are Caesar's, and to God the things that are God's. When they had heard these words, they marveled and left him and went their way. The same day came in to him the Sadducees, which say there is no resurrection. They were sad, you see, as that joke goes. And asked him, saying, Master, Moses said, If a man die having no children, his brother shall marry his wife, and shall raise up seed unto his brother. Now there were with us 7 brethren, and the first, when he married a wife, deceased, and having no issue, left his wife unto his brother. Likewise the second also, and the third unto the 7th. And last of all the woman died also. Therefore in the resurrection, whose wife shall be of the 7? For they all had her, because they don't believe in the resurrection. That's why they're like, Ew. But Jesus answered and said unto them, You do err, not knowing the scriptures, nor the power of God. For in the resurrection they neither marry nor are given her in marriage, but are as the angels of God in heaven. But as touching the resurrection of the dead, have you not read which is spoken unto you by God, saying, I am the God of Abraham, and the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob? God is not the God of the dead, but of the living. And when the multitude heard this, they were astonished at his doctrine. But when the Pharisees had heard that they had put the Sadducees to silence, they were gathered together. Then one of them, which was a lawyer, asked him a question, tempting him, saying, Master, which is the commandment is the greatest of the law? Which is the great commandment of the law? Jesus said unto him, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. This is the first and great commandment. And the second is like unto it, Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. Of these 2 commandments hang all the law and the prophets. And when the Pharisees were gathered together, Jesus asked them, What think ye of Christ? Whose son is he? They said unto him, The son of David. How then does David in spirit call him Lord, saying, The Lord said unto my Lord, Sit thou on my right hand till I make thy enemies thy footstool? If David then call him Lord, how is he his son? And no man was able to answer him a word, neither durst any man ask from that day forth ask him any more questions. I like that phrase, durst. Dared is another thing. Alrighty, that was the 22nd chapter. We'll see you tomorrow for the 23rd. See you tomorrow.